The IRS has finally released a list of the organizations it subjected to intrusive investigation more than 3 years after admitting to targeting Tea Party groups. So the list includes 426 organizations, more than 100 more than originally estimated in 2013. The organizations are collectively suing the IRS. The attorney representing those groups is with me now, Ed Greim. Ed, thanks for the time. So with the IRS admitting its fault, is this an open and shut case for you?
Well, Deirdre, we can't say that they're admitting their fault. What they're doing is they're releasing the list of groups who were all pulled out and treated differently by them. But they have not admitted fault yet. That is still something we've got to establish in our case.
Okay, why do you think there are more names, as we just read, than there were in 2013? How is that possible? Because if the IRS knew that it was eventually going to be targeted, or at least people were beginning to be suspicious, why were they adding more names?
Well, you have to start with the fine print of the TICTA report from 2013. You'll see that the list of groups that they used in that report, the 298 that we've all heard about, actually is just a snapshot in time. That's a list that the IRS gave TICTA when TICTA said it was investigating the IRS. But they kept doing what they had been doing for another year, and so the list grew, and so that's one explanation. The other explanation is that they may have included some groups in there by changing the criteria over time when they realized they were being investigated.
So do you mean, for example, non-conservative groups, non-Tea Party groups, so that the conservative sample batch, if you like, looked diluted?
Yes, that's a very distinct possibility, and one that we're going to be investigating in the coming months in our case.
So we wrote down a few of the names we're going to show to the viewers now, targeted organizations that had words like Tea or Patriot in their names. You could take inference that these are part of conservative groups, and I'm assuming the case that you're building is going to show that's not a coincidence.
Exactly. In fact, we already know that the IRS, at least in the initial stages, intended to pull out groups that were part of what it believed were the Tea Party movement. And so certainly it used those names themselves. And in fact, Lois Lerner admitted to that and apologized for it. They've since walked back that apology.
Ed, what's the timing of the case?
Well, we're not going to go to trial until next summer.
Okay.
But we'll be using this time to get discovery, take depositions, put people under oath, and uncover all the inner workings of the targeting scheme.
All right, Ed, we wish you luck. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Ed Greim joining me there. He is the attorney for the groups suing the IRS.